Situated at the mouth of the delta of the Pearl River on the southern coast of China, Hong Kong is the link between the East and the West. It has become a hotspot of international trade. The living heart of the city is Victoria Bay, as lively as it is majestic. It is also one of the most spectacular urban landscapes in the world. Often called the Pearl of the Orient, Hong Kong is the third largest port in the world and first in Asia because of its width and depth. Hong Kong has now over 7 million inhabitants. Over 96% are Chinese, the remaining 4% are expatriates, for the vast majority from the West. Cantonese is the most common language. English is spoken for or by almost the entire population. In China, there is a very popular traditional martial art in the world, the Wing Chun, or Radiant Boxing Spring. This martial art designed for close combat includes bare hand techniques and weapons training received in the 20th century and rapid expansion in Europe and the United States, especially because of the reputation of the actor Bruce Lee. This art is very advanced in Hong Kong. As with any sport, warm-ups are an important part of the art. Joints are stretched from head to foot. Stretching is part of the warm-ups and are very important to be comfortable in practicing Wing Chun. Other exercises are classic heels to the buttocks, knee rises, followed by some weight training with push-ups, abs, and others. Wing Chun is a very methodical school. All techniques used in combat are the direct result of what is called forms, also called Tao. 6 forms exist today. The first form is the Siu Lim Tao, or Siu Nim Tao, and is the basis of the system. Siu refers to small, efficient, compact, and economical. Nim means immersion in the study of a subject, and Tao refers to the head. One learns to stand properly, working the stability of the body. This form teaches the fundamental skills and basic techniques. Students learn to work in a relaxed and precise atmosphere. Motivation is the most important, and being totally committed to training. It's crucial because if you are not that talented, not everyone is born with a gift. If you work really hard, you can achieve your goal. Being a good student means being totally devout. Our master Yip came from China in 1949. Here, we have 5 generations of masters. I started with English boxing and was also interested in martial arts. I saw one of Master Yip's training sessions, and it was there that I discovered Wing Chun, and that's where it all began. Wandering the modern buildings of the city, there is a night market that is popular with the Chinese. In the aisles, you can find vegetables, meat, fish, and local specialties. The public transport system is quite developed in Hong Kong. The city center has a practical and efficient system of tramways, taxis, ferries, buses, and subways. From the north coast on the island of Hong Kong, one can see the emblematic bustling streets and skyscrapers. The Hong Kong Observation Wheel, a 60 meters high Ferris wheel, offers an incredible view of the bay and downtown. Tsingshan Monastery is emblematic because it is here that part of the film Enter the Dragon was shot with Bruce Lee. In Hong Kong, 50% of the population is atheist, 21% are Buddhist, and 14% Taoist. Located in Castle Peak, Sing Shan Monastery is one of the 3 oldest temples in Hong Kong. Dating from 1464, it includes 3 main groups of buildings. You can discover the mysterious forest followers, the ceremonial arch, prayer rooms, and dormitories. Incense has always been part of rituals in Hong Kong, as elsewhere in China, whether in Buddhist, Confucian, and Taoist temples. The statues represented here are Tai Sui, the weather gods. There is one for each day of the month. Different deities are represented in the temple for those coming to gather in front of them. Nyongping 360 is the cable car, which after a 25-minute ride from Tung Chung will take you to the island of Lantau. Inside the cabine crystal, the glass section offers a breathtaking view of the contrasting landscapes that pass under your eyes and under your feet. The arrival point is the heart of the village of Nyongping, a cultural landmark spanning 1.5 hectares. Once there, you can see the statue of Tiantan Buddha, commonly called the Great Buddha. Installed in 1993, it is 34 meters high. It faces the north to watch over all the Chinese people. In Hong Kong, one lives with the head in the clouds. Year after year, this world champion of skyscrapers continues to grow. Perpetually stretching the land from the sea and the mountains, it constantly adds new towers to the 1,000 square kilometers of land for a population of 7 million inhabitants. There is no age for practicing Wing Chun. All generations are represented in the classes. This discipline aims to teach the art of defense, but also self-confidence, concentration, precision, balance, and many other useful qualities at all times of life. Another form of Wing Chun includes the dragon pole.
I
believe the interest in Wing Chun is growing day by day because more people are aware of our martial art. Wing Chun can be explained scientifically to its practitioners. It is easy for them to understand principles and basis for Wing Chun. In the past, students under 13 years of age were not allowed to train because their bodies were not yet fully developed. Today, that has changed. Children are growing differently. Now, even students at 10 years of age are signed up in martial arts classes by their parents. Thanks to their age, they learn differently. Today, every movement can be explained. In the past, only endless repetition was done without any explanation. No matter your body type, you can practice. We used to say that if we taught our art to strangers, they could defeat us because they had a greater physique than us. Wing Chun is part of the martial art that uses wall punching bags for practice in order to toughen up the fingers. The wooden dummy form includes 108 techniques, or up to 116, according to the schools. These differences in numbers do not affect the structure of the shape. They are more due to a different way of counting exercises than to an important structural difference. But since Master Yip Man, also a teacher of Bruce Lee, has taught Wing Chun, many conflicts have appeared within schools about who holds the original form. Wooden dummy exercises have evolved over the centuries and has gone from 280 exercises to 108 or 116. If the wooden dummy is not symmetrical from left to right, it is Master Yip Man who modifies the form in order to include variance and eliminating the left-right-left repetitions. The long pole measures 2 meters 70, but for practical reasons it is taught in its short form of 2 meters. The form is quite simple to learn. Quick and direct, it allows working the wrists and still remains difficult to use. The mythical boats of the Star Ferry have been the faithful link between Hong Kong Island and Kowloon since 1888. Today, the two shores of Victoria Bay are connected by a system of road and rail infrastructure. 10 million people continue to use Star Ferry every year. If many tourists come from abroad to see one of the most beautiful bays in the world, Hong Kongese use it much more for the affection they hold for it rather than for what they could carry. Even after a century of service, the Star Ferry is still a reliable and efficient means of transport. National Geographic has even ranked Star Ferry in its top 50 destinations to go at least once in a lifetime. The island of Cheung Chau boasts 23,000 inhabitants living on 2.45 square kilometers. To the west of the island are the harbor docks lined with seafood restaurants. The narrow streets, often lined with 2-story tall houses, are so narrow that here you can only travel by bicycle or on foot. The only vehicles with 4 wheels that can be seen are adapted to the needs of police and firefighters. For some time now, tourism has become the dominant activity. Traditional Chinese culture is present, and there are also small restaurants and beaches for swimming. The Temple of Pak Tai is an essential stopover of the island. Built in 1783, it is one of the oldest in Hong Kong. It is dedicated to a Taoist god of the sea, the supreme emperor of the dark heaven. You will see the statues of these two legendary generals who see and hear everything. The elongated dragons adorn its roof, while the 4 pairs of stone dragons in the courtyard keep guard. To the east of the island is the beach of Tongwan. Weather permitting, it is very popular with windsurfers. It is possible to travel to Macau by land, sea, or air, but the direct and fashionable way in recent years is the helicopter. Macau is located just south of Hong Kong. This territory, with an area of less than 30 square kilometers, was colonized by the Portuguese when they served as intermediaries between China and Japan in the 16th century. Nowadays, Macau is known worldwide for its casinos, whose incomes are often higher than those of Las Vegas. Here, it is a small fraction of Europe that lives within China. Like Las Vegas, casinos are growing almost everywhere on the island. The gigantism and glitz are the order of the day. It is impossible to pass by without seeing them, as they are concentrated on a tiny strip of land just 1.2 kilometers. The chi sao, which could be translated as tight arms or hands, is an exercise carried out with a partner that must allow the student to react in a tactile manner. In close combat, your ability to see a punch and react by reflex is greatly diminished, and it is at this point that the skills developed by the chi sao take on their full meaning. The student develops true sensory reflexes. At a later stage, the chi sao is also practiced blindfolded. Once tactile sensibility is developed, the student must be able to detect any change in the position of the opponent's body or angles of attack. With time and training, the body as a whole acquires the ability to react instantly in a relaxed manner at the slightest pressure. Wing Chun comes from the south of Shaolin, and it's one of the simplest and most efficient martial arts. I was often ill as a child. I was interested in many different sports, but I never thought I would be able to practice them. So, I turned to Wing Chun. With the chi sao, one learns to intercept the opponent's arms, deflect his strength, and hit him simultaneously. The exercise is done with a constant forward force to stick to the opponent's arms. This force remains relaxed to feel the movements of it. While Wing Chun specializes in arm techniques, it also means that you should be effective with your legs. After a small kick, the use of the punching bag with fists resumes its place in the training. Victoria Bay is considered one of the 3 natural harbors in the world and one of the 3 most beautiful night views in the world. Its name comes from Queen Victoria of Great Britain. Typical markets of exotic fruits, vegetables, and seafood are resistant to the dominance of the supermarket. Nestled in narrow streets, the small markets are always crowded with many people, and there often reigns a joyous hubbub. The markets form one of the most fascinating street shows in Hong Kong, an instant contrast with the modern and air-conditioned offices. The jade trade is incredibly present in Hong Kong, and for good reason. In Chinese culture, jade has long been associated with longevity and good health, making this material a lucky charm. The Chinese sign designating jade is a contraction of the words beauty and purity. The quality and quantity of jade stones sold on hundreds of stalls are appreciated both by tourists and Hong Kongese. In general, people prefer jade jewelry such as rings, bracelets, pendants, or earrings. However, it is not unusual to find amazing objects there. If the idea of being able to influence even just slightly one's luck is the ideal place to buy a lucky charm. In the middle of the Hong Kong skyscrapers, there is a lush vegetation which sometimes grows unexpectedly. Banyans are divided into two types, the Ficus microcarpa and the Ficus bengalensis, particularly present on the island. In Wing Chun, it is not the physical strength that is the most important. Indeed, in the case of an attack, one analyzes the situation visually and one reacts immediately by a counterattack. Then, it is by using the tactile sensations given by the aggressor, such as blocking, grasping, pulling, and others, that it is possible to continue with a supple and adapted counterattack while remaining relaxed. Not requiring any physical fitness, Wing Chun is accessible at any age. The only necessary condition to discover it is to have the will to learn new things and to improve one's personal skills. Here, you can learn Kung Fu, which my master teaches. Today, quite a few masters received this training and pass it along in the world. I want to promote our Wing Chun with other masters as a martial art that is good for your physical and mental health. Today, people don't take enough time for their health. In Wing Chun, we learn how to fight during the training. But we also teach our students to have a good attitude once outside and have moral values. Hong Kong is a symbol of success in Asia. Today, it is certainly its desire to cultivate a particular identity that allows Hong Kong to extend its notoriety throughout the world. Behind its airs of the City of London or the small New York of Asia, it has once again become a Chinese city. Notoriety can also be attributed thanks to the success of Bruce Lee, which made it possible to introduce to the world to Wing Chun, a martial art that almost everyone can recognize by its gestures without even knowing its name. The philosophy of Wing Chun allows everyone to practice and carry on its values. This is one of the reasons it will have long and beautiful years ahead.